Hi, everybody. We're so excited tonight to have Nick Kreticos of Nick's Seasonal Decor. He's going to show you how to make a wreath and beautiful Christmas bows. And his sister Alex is behind the camera. And I'm Sandy Sandler, the creator of the Bowdabra, and I'll be on here too. So I'm going to let Nick take it away.
Perfect. Thank you, Sandy. We have a lot of Christmas coming your way tonight, you guys. I'm going to teach you a bunch of different Christmas techniques, and we're also going to create a beautiful icy blue wreath. So, as you come in, make sure to let me know that you're here. I appreciate all of you guys that come back and watch my videos from a later point, whether that be tonight, tomorrow, next month, next year. Videos are permanent, right? You guys can watch these at your leisure. So, if that relates to you, comment down below, hashtag replay. So on my table, what you see here is my large Bowdabra, followed by my mini Bowdabra and our Bowdabra wire. So all of the products we're using today, including both Bowdabras, the wire, and the ribbons, can be found at nicksseasonaldecor.com. And we're going to start with my favorite for larger bows, which is going to be our large Bowdabra.
Hello, everyone. Happy October. It's our first time seeing you guys this month.
It is. That's honestly unbelievable.
I know.
It's crazy, you guys, how it's already October. As some of you guys, or most of you guys know by now, we live in Massachusetts. So I feel like our state especially kind of gets extra spooky, right? Being just a few towns away from Salem. So it's kind of spooky season now. And also, too, all of the leaves have changed since the last time we saw you guys, which was only a few weeks ago. It's crazy out. It's all fall. It's just beautiful. Today was actually one of the most beautiful days in the last, month, Alex.
Yeah.
It's hot out today, you guys. It's like 75, and it's nice out right now. So 100-yard spool. This comes in silver and gold. We're going to be using the gold tonight. It lasts a really long time. What you saw me do there, which let me just redo that and show you guys. I just cut a length of the wire. We're going to fold it in half, and we're going to place it on the slit on the top of the Bowdabra. So just right into either side. And then what I like to do is I like to take it one step further and take my wires and tuck them underneath my Bowdabra. It keeps it from kind of slipping out as we're working with our ribbon. And also, too, I use my Bowdabra a little bit differently. I like to rotate it, so I like to move my Bowdabra. And by having the wires tucked in underneath, especially for those of you just starting out, it prevents you from kind of getting lost, right? Because there's so much going on. So it just makes it a little bit cleaner. We're going to start with one of my favorites. What is this ribbon, Alex?
Red velvet.
Red velvet. So for Christmas and winter, I love using red velvet. So let me know down below if you agree with me there. There's honestly nothing quite like it. And maybe we'll use this for the design tonight. We'll see.
Yeah.
I think that's beautiful too. So what we're going to do is do a classic traditional red velvet bow. We're going to take our ribbon, create about 22-inch tails, about this long, and all we're going to do is just fold those in half and place those right into our Bowdabra. So another thing too is as you guys come in, you can win a free roll of scrunchy ribbon tonight. Just let us know where you're watching from, whatever state or country it is, and we're going to be choosing one lucky winner at the very end, and that could be you. So now what I'm doing is I'm taking my ribbon. Notice that this is two-sided, right? We have the velvet side, which is the side we want showing. And then we have the plastic side. So this is a water-resistant, not waterproof. Nothing's waterproof in this world. Water-resistant, weather-resistant ribbon. So the back side is more plasticky. We're going to take the velvet side and place it down into the Bowdabra. And I do want you guys to notice, see what we have here, Alex? About 1/2 inch of an overhang. That is really, really important, you guys, to prevent your ribbon when it's fluffing, when it's time to fluff, when you're creating more loops, from slipping out and then losing your bow. So make sure to do so. Now
Nick,
what I like...
John asked if you have any advice to keep large outdoor bows on wreaths from flopping down. Is there a trick to attaching them?
From flopping down, you want to get it as tight as possible against whatever you're securing it to. I have one lantern in particular that's a little bit more challenging for me to attach things to. But I say you can also bulk it up with some greenery underneath it to kind of prop it up. There's so many different ways of creating that illusion that it's all perfect. And me and Alex are really well known to do that, right,
Yes.
Alex? With a lot of the videos we film, we have little tips and tricks that we kind of do in the designing process. So we created our first loop. Now we're going to pinch our ribbon, reverse it so we have the plastic side towards us again, place it inside, and then I give it 1/2 a turn. Do the same thing again, pinch right in the middle, reverse it so the plastic side's facing forward, and tuck it into your Bowdabra. And I see we have 700, we have 74 people, you guys. Let's see if we can get 700, right? So make sure if you enjoy this and if I'm teaching you something to hit that like and share button. So my goal by this Christmas season is for everybody watching now to be bow masters, right? And if you're not, we will get you there. Practice really does help you guys. So the more you design with ribbon, the more comfortable you become with it. And it becomes like what's the word I'm looking for?
Like second nature.
Like second nature.
Yeah.
Like second nature. And then you're not even going to put much thought into it. So we're just doing that repetition. We're creating our loop. And then before working it in, we're going to just reverse it. So the plastic side's facing down or facing up. The velvet side's facing down. Half a turn. And just repeating that process over and over again. So another thing I really want to point out to you guys is that we are not going for perfection here. You don't see me measuring out any loops. Nothing has to be perfect. And if you've seen my bows before, you guys, let me know down below. Say yes or no. And if you have, just know that every bow that I've made, I don't focus on making them perfect. So the more you get into that habit, the easier it's going to be. So another thing you can do too, you see me turning in the same direction. You can also just go back and forth like this. It doesn't make a difference. Or you can keep the Bowdabra right on your table and work in your piece of ribbon. I struggle with this part though. Like that. And Alex is going to laugh at me because this is not second nature to me, right? Keeping my Bowdabra on the table. Coming back in with our next loop, and then we're going to snip it off. So that's enough loops. For this time of year, you guys, I really encourage you to start working in a ton of loops into your bows, especially if you're doing a Christmas design and especially if you're doing velvet. Nothing really makes a bigger statement than having tons of loops on your bow for the best effect. So for fall and winter, I recommend anywhere from 5 to 7 plus on either side for the best effect. All right, so now we're going to tie this from behind. Hey, Christine and Lisa, and Linda, and Maggie, all of which are Wreath community members. So, hey, Wreath community, I'll be seeing you guys for date night at 8 p.m. So we're going to tie that off. All I did was I pulled the wire out, do 3 or 4 knots. You really don't want this to go anywhere. And now we can fluff. 110 of you watching, thank you so much for tuning in. So right now, too, I want to tell you guys that both Bowdabra and Nick's Seasonal Decor have free crafting groups. Bowdabra has the fan gallery that they've shared the link down below with, and we have the Nick's Seasonal Decor crafting community. Both groups are great resources for more inspiration. And we would love to see what you create using your Bowdabra.
Oh, I love this. Such a classic Christmas bow.
Isn't it?
Yes.
Lisa's from South Alabama. Isn't that pretty? Thumbs up if you guys love that. This is, to me, just timeless. I don't care what trends are happening. This has been around for so many years, and it's going to be around, I say, forever. So I love a red velvet traditional bow. And we could have done even more loops, right?
Yeah.
But that's the effect we got. Another thing you can do, too, to add an extra pizzazz is to take your tails. I'm just layering one on top of another. Fold in half. And cut from the middle out towards the wired edge at an angle. So I'm going to ask, Alex, don't jump the gun. I'm going to ask, what is this called? Let me know down below if you know. Alex knows, but every time I ask that question, she's always like, she always says it.
I know. I'm like the first in class. I'm like screaming it.
So there is the bow. Now, let's switch gears and use the mini Bowdabra. So this we started carrying at nickseasonaldecor.com in January. So this is our first year carrying it, almost full year now, right? I mean, it's almost November. And I was pleasantly...
It's crazy.
Right? The very first time I used it was on a Facebook Live. Is that the best thing in the world, right? Maybe I should have done it behind the scenes. But we used it on Bowdabra for the first time, and there was no difference. So if you're good with your large Bowdabra and want something that you can take around with you, that's on a smaller scale, you can do that. So on the back side of this ribbon, you guys, last year we lost, do you remember this, Alex?
Yeah.
I lost audio on my videos, so I had to go say goodbye to everybody. So this is the last time we used it, was last Christmas. So Merry Christmas, everyone. Tis the season. So we're going to pair that 1.5 inch gingham with a black and white 7/8 inch. And I think those look really good together.
Yeah, I like that.
So I love these types of ribbon for, can you guess what kind of thing, Alex?
Thing.
I mean, I don't know how to, character, I can say.
Character. What you like to use this to design
this
with?
color scheme with.
Oh. I don't know. I was gonna say
She's
I was
looking
gonna
at me.
say snowman.
That's right,
Oh, okay.
snowmen. I love it with snowmen because then you can work in whatever color hat or scarf, or you could work in orange because the carrot nose, or you could just keep it black and white. So I love working with black and white gingham and just black and white in general with snowmen. So for those of you planning to do a snowman design this year, try working in some black and white. It really does turn out really pretty. Anna said dovetail. Yes, the right word is
Yes.
dovetail. So it's something that I encourage all of you guys to do in most of your designs. Of course, every application is different. And all we're doing here is we're creating a bunch of awareness ribbons, right? Single loop with two tails. And this is a good point to show you guys that it doesn't matter how long the tails are. If you need to trim them, you can trim them later. And all I'm doing is I'm alternating either side. So since I came back in with my last loop on the left, we worked in the gingham on the opposing side. Hey, Layla. Good evening, Brenda. Ruth is watching from Virginia Beach. That was one of our first family vacations when I was a kid. We went to Virginia Beach.
We did.
And we actually drove through that this year, me and Alex and Dad, on our way to North Carolina. So yeah, let us know where you're watching from. We're going to do 3 loops of each, and notice what device I'm using, you guys. I'm using the mini Bowdabra, and when I first started with the mini Bowdabra, again in January, I thought you could only make small bows, but you can create really large or decently large bows using your mini. So another thing that this is good for, which I don't do a lot of, but a lot of my bows end up working for that application, is hair bows. So if you have a cheerleader out there, or if you just want to make a big hair bow or a small hair bow, it works great for that. And you, Sandy and Alex, have been pressuring me to wear one day.
You should.
So I'm going to have to wear one, you guys. So thumbs up if you want to see me in a big, crazy hair bow.
'Tis the season.
So we're going to take the wire, bring it to the surface, right? So all I did is I took it out from underneath the Bowdabra, bring it to the middle, pull the cut end through the loop, and then pull it tight. As easy as that. 3 loops of each, and I think this bow is proportionate enough to do on a larger wreath as well. So if you have a large, 14-inch, 16-inch, 18-inch grapevine, this would work perfect for even our 12-inch, So you can create on the mini Bowdabra all sorts of bows for different sizes. So now we're going to dovetail this real quick to give you that instant power, right? Because once you dovetail and fluff it out, it really does make a huge difference. Let's fluff it out and dovetail. Virginia's watching from Portsmouth, Virginia. Oh, Virginia and Virginia. How fun is that? Hey, Mindy, another awesome Wreath community member. Let's dovetail. But by a show of hands, how many of you guys are excited for all of the bows I'm going to teach you? We're just getting started with our Christmas, and I have so many Bowdabra ideas for you guys using your Bowdabra. We're going to do some poinsettia flowers. We did a tree topper last month, so if you want to check that out, you can. And I'm planning a few other ones where we're working in maybe some greenery. We'll see, but let me know down below if you guys want to see that stuff. All right. Uh-oh, I forgot one tail. Let's dovetail that.
Oh, I wish I caught that before you did.
Nope, I caught it first. Hey, Carol. Diane is from Kansas City, Missouri. All right. How pretty is that?
I love it. I love black and white together.
Right?
It's very neutral, but still fun.
So I don't think this only works for Christmas or only for snowmen. I think these 2 colors together, black and white, work good for year round. So it doesn't really make a difference what you're designing it for. So
You know what else?
here we
I
have.
love those colors for dad gifts.
Yes, that's a great point too. Forgot another dovetail. Alex, look away. So this one's a little bit longer. So like I said before, you can make them all different sizes. But if something's sticking out a little bit further than you would like, just snip it off and see how much more proportionate that looks now. But don't get too caught up in measurements. So thumbs up if you guys like this bow as well. And another thing that I've been trying a whole lot lately is taking my tails, see this? And I just kind of crinkle them a bit. And you've been a fan of that look, Alex.
Yeah, I do. I love it. I think it looks more natural, relaxed.
She doesn't straight up tell me that, you guys, but when she looks at some of the designs I create, the ones that she's kind of gravitated towards lately are the ones where I kind of just take my wired ribbon and just give it a little squish. See that? And it kind of looks a little bit more like spaghetti. So that's just another enhancing it as well. Yes, Bowdabra from Wisconsin, says Brenda. Hey, Julie. is another awesome Wreath community member. So this is a Wreath community live, you guys. You guys are showing up. Christine as well. Welcome, you guys. So now what we're going to do is something that is really popular this year. How popular has this been, Alex?
Yes.
So red and green is always a hit, but especially this kind of Grinchy styled bows. So I love the edge of this. This is known as chenille edge or snowdrift edge or whatever you want to call it, snowball edge. Really, really pretty. So for this one, I think we're going to use our mini Bowdabra again. So we're going to take our mini. I'm going to show you guys that even thicker ribbons can work using it. Tuck your wires underneath to get them out of the way. And watch this. So we're going to make a poinsettia flower without the poinsettia. So I'm just going to take my ribbon and cut it random lengths. Look at me measure, you guys. Joke's on you, I'm not, right? You don't need to measure them out. Yes, great colors for a New Year's party as well. Uh-oh. Looks like I actually just stepped on this and ripped the edge off. So we're going to do 4 pieces, you guys. Pinch in the middle and work it in.
Let us know which Bowdabra you have. Do you have the mini or the big one? Or both?
Yes, so if you are a wreath maker and you only want to purchase one, the one that I recommend is the large Bowdabra. That way you're able to do much bigger bows if the need arises. But like I said before, the mini is great for travel, right? If you want to make a bow on the go, you can use the mini. I don't really make bows on the go these days, right? But you can throw that in a purse. I couldn't fit this in my wallet, but I could put it in my pocket. So now that we've secured our wire, we're going to take that wire to the back side. This is how I tie it off, you guys. I know some of you have difficulty with this. Just take your wire, flip your bow over, take either end, and just create, I like to do 3 knots to ensure that it's not going anywhere. 112 of you guys, welcome. You have the large one, you have the large one. Amanda has the big one.
Layla has both.
So now let's dovetail this real quick. And I'm going to show you guys how pretty this looks. So I used, what would you say, Alex? Less than a yard?
I was going to say, I can't believe it's only 4 pieces of this ribbon. And I feel like it's going to be, it's stunning.
Exactly. You have both. Sherry has the large. Yes, don't forget to let us know where you're watching from. Uh-oh.
And the little Bowdabra could be a good stocking stuffer for Christmas too.
That's
right. It's a cute little box. It'll fit perfectly in a stocking.
Right. I agree. And I think they're only $11.99 too.
Yes, and we have both sizes available at nickseasonaldecor.com, as well as the wires. Nick is using the gold tonight, but we also do have it in silver, which actually I believe we have to restock on some of the silver, yeah, but we do have them in stock.
What do you think of that? So we will be live again next week as well. And through the year, we will be live the last 2 Mondays. But don't worry, every Monday, Bowdabra is live. If it's not me, it's Sandy or Joe, who are just as cool as me. Might be a little bit cooler, actually, if we're going to be honest. So they hosts and they teach you it differently, right? So we all can learn something from everybody. And I think that's the fun of it. I really, really do. So now let's do our wreath bow. How about that? Let's do our wreath bow. We're going to use this ribbon. How pretty is that? So again, ice blue has been really popular this year. Last week, I taught you how to create a swag using ice blue. And tonight, I thought we would teach you how to create a wreath using it. So we're going to take our large Bowdabra, cut a length of our wire, take your wire, fold it in half, and place it into your Bowdabra. Hey, Barb. I'm glad you tuned in too. And if you made it this far, let's have a secondary keyword. Secondary keyword, how about, what do you think? Blue? Let's do blue. B-L-U-E. And I'll know that you've watched the entire first half of this video. So we're going to take our tails, just tuck them underneath or inside the Bowdabra in front of Alex. Then we're going to take our ribbon. Again, it's not as easy to see on this as it is the velvet, but this is the back side of it. It doesn't have any of that silver and glitter. It's just a plain black, back, and we're going to just take that, work it in upside down with about 1/2 inch of an overhang. Now,
Sherry asked, sorry to interrupt, but Sherry asked, she said her live is about 5 years old, and she asked if there's any difference in the newer ones. No, Sherry, they're all the same because they work. So we didn't want to change something that was already working.
that's right, Sandy. And I've had my original one. I mean, when did I say? 2011?
Yeah, it's been a long time.
I've had it. So they last a really, really long time. And I mean, as long as you don't throw it across the room, if you threw it across the room, I'm sure it'll still hold up too, right? So there's nothing needed to be changed in the last 5 years. I can state that. And it's nice to know that Sandy agrees. Nothing needs to be changed. So we're going to do at least 4 loops on either side. Again, I want this bow to be nice and full. So I'm going to just actually do a few extra loops to really make this nice and full. But thank you all so much for tuning in and for the shares. I appreciate it. And if I taught you something, whether it's during this live or a previous live, make sure to let me know down below because that stuff goes straight to my head. Keeps me wanting to teach you guys. So I have a little bit left. Might as well just finish this roll. And that way this bow is extra full. And it looks like we have enough for 1 loop. So let's finish it off. Like that. Now we're going to take our wire. And another thing too is your Bowdabra does come with a wand. I just got to look for my wand. Here it is. Here's the Bowdabra wand. It does come with each kit. You can place it inside the middle and compress your ribbon. You guys see me just use my hand. I just squish it down. Hey, Max, another awesome Wreath community member. Amanda, who I just saw, is new to the Wreath community as well. I will see all of you in a few minutes.
Oh my gosh, a double dose of Nick.
Alex is like, well, thank gosh, I don't have to. But she has to too, you guys. So we're going to just tie it from behind, and we're going to secure this to our wreath now. So now that our bow is made, we're going to come back to our grapevine. And this one's got a little moss on it, which I think is very pretty. We're going to take our bow, and this is how I attach it to reeds. I just take it, I place it on whatever section I want, and I take my wires, and I bring them to the back, and I switch the sides. So I just switched the 2 sides, brought them back towards the surface, and then I tie it from the front. And the reason I tie it from the front is because I don't want to see the wire cut in the back. I want it to just be kind of like this pretty gold wire wrapped around the wreath base. So it just creates a sleeker, cleaner look. And then you can snip it off from the front. Like that. Now we can fluff it. Pull apart all of your loops. And watch us transform. 130 of you guys, thank you for tuning in. Fluff it out. That's such a pretty ribbon.
It is. It's like the perfect color and the combination for like an icy blue winter wreath.
Yeah, winter is the key word there, you guys. So
Yep.
This would work for Christmas, and this would work after Christmas. So a lot of people, I know a lot of you guys are designers out there, and you're nervous about creating a lot of wreaths that, you're afraid won't sell. An easy thing that I like to teach is to create designs that, have a longer lifespan to them. So something like this, if it doesn't sell by Christmas, well, you still have several months to go. And if you live in colder regions, longer than that, right? So it's cold here till April. So this would work up until April. All right, there's the bow. How pretty is that?
So pretty.
135 of you guys, thank you for tuning in. Now we're going to take one of our Norfolk pine bushes. I broke it down, and all I'm going to do is I'm just going to stick it into the wreath. How pretty are those 2 together? Poke it in. And just filling in. Jeanette's from Phoenix. Well, maybe a winter wreath is a shorter time frame for you. Same with Sandy.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, Virginia asked if the loops are all the same size, and I'll let you give your answer, Nick.
Yes. No, they are not. They are not. And they do not have to be either. So what I encourage you guys to do is, for those of you that have been making bows for a while, is to kind of get outside of your comfort zone and try creating your loops a little bit different. And then you'll realize that it really doesn't make a huge difference in the effect. If anything, it kind of looks better having them a little bit different. It creates more of an organic look and feel. So I'll just take a little bit more of this Norfolk. I'm going to split this one down and place it around. Hey, Nancy. Katie would like to win. I'll place one more piece up top. And then another piece down here, Alex. There we go. And then for some textural difference, I also have some of this. You know what kind of greenery this is, Alex? We have a lot of it growing on our trees outside.
I'm just gonna say pine.
Yes, white pine.
White pine.
So most of you guys know by now too, before I ever touched anything artificial, I worked with fresh greenery for a number of years. Here in New England, especially, fresh greenery wreaths, fresh Christmas trees, fresh kissing balls, you name it, are everywhere. So that's what I did for a number of years. And I used all sorts of greenery. The greenery I liked the least, Alex, was white pine.
Really?
This one had a lot of sap, and it was next to impossible to get off your hands, your surfaces. So this is a texture that we never really used a whole lot fresh-wise. But the artificial version looks the exact same without the sap. And it was honestly the only one that I really dealt with. Everything else never had that issue. What do you guys think? Isn't that pretty? But we have two more things left to add. We have these ball picks. How pretty are those with this? Like, shared, and following. Thank you, Katie. Tuck that in here. And then one on the opposing side. And there we have a simple winter wreath.
So cute.
And you could add more. You could
we have our winner is Terry Rubio Bailey from Redlands, California.
Welcome, Terry, and congratulations.
Congratulations, Terry. You won yourself a roll of free scrunchie ribbon tonight. You can send Bowdabra a message directly here on Facebook choosing your color, and your options are silver, gold, or red. So pick your color, send them your address, and they will get that shipped out to you.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Let's all take a second and congratulate Terry. And if you didn't win, which is everybody but Terry, right? Like we always like to say, there is always next week when we are live, same time, Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern. So here is what it looks like. You could add another one down below. You can spruce it up to whatever extent you would like. Or you could do without these. I kind of like it with just the greenery too. I think the greenery is pretty.
Yeah, it really is.
So I think if it was on my door, as much as these match and look pretty, I like just the greenery. I think showing off that beautiful pine and Norfolk is enough for me. So here is the wreath that we created tonight.
Carol was asking what the first greenery was.
First greenery is the most popular greenery at the moment, Norfolk pine. You'll see it everywhere, you guys, and for good reason. It's so pretty. But Norfolk pine, and then we have white pine in this. But imagine this design. Let me show you. I mean, you're going to still see the blue underneath it. So again, for my door, we all have different styles and tastes. I love red ribbon with greenery. So that would be my choice. We've already done a few different red versions of this here on Bowdabra, so I didn't want to keep it all red for you guys, but that is what I'd like. So keyword tonight is not going to be one specific word. It is going to be whichever you prefer. So on this wreath, personally for you, would you rather see red or blue? How about you, Alex?
Me, red.
You red too?
Yes, red. I love the red
I would
velvet.
do the red for me. So everybody let me know. And then, congrats. Yes, this is not a kit, Amanda. We are Amanda's, like I want this already. It is not a kit, unfortunately. But you can pick up your Bowdabras and greenery and ribbons from nickseasonaldecor.com. So everybody let me know whether it be red or blue for you. But I want to thank each and every one of you guys for joining me tonight. My favorite bow of tonight for the last 10 years now has got to be the red velvet. But we also created it with the blue. We also made this really pretty spidery bow. And then we made probably another...
In the mini Bowdabra, which is really impressive.
I'm sorry?
You made that in the mini Bowdabra, which is really impressive.
The mini Bowdabra too. But I told you guys, you can make some pretty big bows using the mini Bowdabra. And then we made this one and the mini Bowdabra as well. So thank you all so much for joining. Thank you, Sandy, for having me as a guest. And I will see you all next Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern. Again, let me know, red or blue. So thanks for
Thank
watching.
you,
And
Nick and Alex.
Good
thank
night,
you. Bye-bye.
everyone.
Bye.